Moving on to topic number 6. This was a big topic. I know a lot of people were talking about it on the internet, a lot of people tweeting it out. I was looking forward to watching it. You know, I'm a big track and field guy, so I was planning on watching these games anyway. But then when I heard the Seattle Seahawks wide receiver DK Metcalf was going to attempt to run with some Olympians in the 100 meters, I definitely had to catch it. And wow, he actually did himself a good job and put up a respectable time, especially against running against Olympians.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think it shows you two things. First of all, you see DK Metcalf next to all those runners, and he looks like a giant amongst the Lilliputians. Like, he's just so much bigger than everybody else. DK Metcalf's a freak. We all know that. He did hold his own in the race, which is pretty crazy, thinking about how long these runners have been training, you know, to come out of the blocks and to use, you know, with all the techniques that they have to use to run faster, to come out of the blocks faster, and so forth. You know, Metcalf hasn't been doing it as long as them, but he showed his just natural ability, and he has been working at it a little bit. But at the same time, you're saying DK Metcalf's a super fast guy in the NFL, and he got blown away in the race. And it just shows you that these track athletes are just so much better than even an unbelievable athlete from the NFL, because they're working on their particular sport even more than this other sport superstar, you know? So anytime we say we're sitting on our couch eating potato chips, drinking beers or whatever, and we're saying we can do that when we see athletes out in the, you know, on the golf course or on the football field or wherever, then you see this unbelievable athlete from the NFL, one of the top sports in the country, and he gets blown away by all these track stars. It just shows you, if he can't do it, there's no way we can do it. So it just shows you how good of runners and athletes and how hard these athletes work to try to get into the Olympics, which I thought was the coolest part of it all.
Yeah, no, it was definitely, you know, a chance to qualify for the Olympic trials, which are coming up in 6 weeks in Oregon. We're really looking forward to those, and we'll definitely be covering them. But yeah, it shows the difference between NFL speed and track speed, and we always talk about that. And, you know, obviously it all came up when he ran down Buda Baker on that interception. He hit top speeds of 22 miles per hour. And he said, hey, I might try my hand in track. And USA Track and Field said, hey, come on out. And so he took them up and took up their offer. And first off, I want to say big ups to DK Metcalf for even attempting this and putting himself out there, because a lot of athletes will just claim they've got Olympic speed and then won't go out there to try to put it on. They won't even like step up to try it. And he did, but obviously got his doors blown off. Finished 9th overall, I believe, in his heat. So he got smoked. And like I said, it just clearly shows the difference between track speed and football speed. But not only that, it shows the difference between like primetime football speed and Olympic track speed. So he was running against some guys that are going to be running in the Olympic trials and are probably going to be representing us in Tokyo going forward. And I think some of the times that were run on that day were like 9.97 and 9.8. And so for him to run a 10.36, don't get me wrong, that is still blazing fast and it is super respectable. But when you're putting it up against Olympian sprinters, you're getting your doors blown off. And he found out that he can't do that. And one of the other things is, if I'm a sprint coach, I'm a track coach, if you look at his form coming out of the blocks, he does a really great job. He stays with them for about the first 60 meters. So if I'm DK Metcalf, he might want to try to go to indoor track and run the 60 against some of those guys. And he might actually fare a lot better running the 60 indoor, because after about 60 meters, that's when their top end speed kicked in and their form really kicked in, and they held a lot better form than him, and they just destroyed him in the end there. And that's another thing. He didn't stay down in his dry phase long enough. And then at the very end, the last 20 meters, he falls apart completely in his form, and that just takes away all of his speed. And these guys that go on to win the race and pass him, they just keep great form. And as a track coach, we say it all the time, form is fast. And DK Metcalf just found that out himself.
Yeah, no question. I mean, we've seen DK Metcalf run like crazy on the football field, but like you said, when you're not training with that form, you're just not going to beat those other guys. So that was awesome to see that those, you know, it brought some more attention to sprinting, and you know, we it's been so long since we've seen the Olympics. We're used to seeing it sooner. Then it got delayed a year, and now it's like this brought the Olympics kind of back into the spotlight a little bit with having a guy like DK Metcalf do that. So that was really cool.